Does it still have it?
Yeah.
God. Never saw that before. Hey, I'm Janet Creech, and I am a friend of the Red River National Wildlife Refuge Association. We support the mission of the Red River National Wildlife Refuge, and I am Gloria McClure and I, Janet, are head of the Landscape Habitat Committee, and so our purpose is to grow plants which support our native habitat. So we're using native plants, and our main focus in this garden, which we call the Pollinator Garden, is to support our insects. And so we have lots of bees, butterflies, hummingbirds are not insects, but they go to the Turk's cap. So we have lots of insects, and with all the research coming out now, we find everybody is learning, and we're spreading the news on how important insects are to humanity. We're in an insect apocalypse right now, and so our mission here is to provide as much habitat for insects and teach people about the importance. This garden has lots of drifts. Insects are able to see large drifts of things, and then they can feed for quite a period of time from them. So the Turk's cap, Malvaviscus, drummondii, hasn't started blooming yet, but the ham and eggs Lantana has. So it has a nice flat surface for butterflies to land on. And it's a great place to just come and just watch all the various types of bees. This is a full sun area, and these plants usually require no watering unless we're in a drought. They're taking full sun. The other end has more shade, but this is full sun, and this is why you want to have native plants to support our native insect and bird population.
So so you have bees, you have
lots of different types of bees.
Lots of different types
Big
of
bees, little bees, medium bees.
And then butterflies and moths as well?
Yes, we have butterflies and moths. And when we say, bees, and we also have wasps. But there are so many wasps that they're not just red wasps and yellow jackets. Tiny flies that mimic bees. The diversity of insects is so amazing. And you see just teeny tiny things and then big bumblebees. But there are so many insects which mimic that you really need to take photographs of them so you can ID them later. But you want to, in a good pollinator garden, you want to be able to have, to attract as many types of insects. Birds sure like caterpillars, and for their nestlings in the spring, so we want to help the birds out too. But basically the food chain starts with the insects, and it helps humans too. This garden has been here for probably about 8 years. It has seen a couple of different iterations. If we plant some things and it dies once, we'll try it again. If it dies twice, we might try it again. If it doesn't do it after that, well, then we go on to other plants. But of course, a lot of times it could be to anomalies in the weather, a snowpocalypse, freezing, or really, so we have to take all of that information into account. So it's been here, and we've been it probably has a few less plants in it. It has lots of plants, a few less species than it did originally, just because even though we whack everything back right before spring, we let insects overwinter in the debris, and then right before they start pushing, we whack them back. But as you can tell, they're very successful. This is another super pollinator plant. This is called mountain mint, and this is Pycnanthemum muticum. And it has beautiful white, silver foliage on it. And if you smell it, it smells just like mint. And this is one of the best pollinators. When it is blooming, in a couple of weeks, it will just be covered with everything in the world. Now, the Salvia farinacea, this is found by Greg Grant over the cemetery, and the blue one is Henry Duelberg. And it is a big bee attractor. And amsonia, hubrichtii, blue eyes, it attracts different different insects. And then we have a baptisia here, which alba, which is great for hummingbirds and stuff. We have some Monarda Monarda fistulosa, bee balm, and it is getting ready to bloom, and it attracts tons of insects. And so actually the plants we have now are really good spreaders, and so we don't have to really replenish, but what we do have to do is keep them in check. We also do vines. So we have passion flower. It's trying to come up the poles now, but hasn't quite make it. The purple passion flower, which is the host plant for the Gulf fritillary, and then we also have Acema, which is for the spice tail, and little, is that right? Well, anyway, we have another one. Anyway, people love to come out here, because it's like having a buffet set, and just about any time you come in the summer, there's insects to look at. Over there we have some Texas star hibiscus, which stands up and has beautiful red star-shaped flowers. There's a purple ground cover over there, and that is Verbena rigida, and it will spread and cover the ground, so trying to smother out weeds and stuff. Well, first of all, what you're going to be interested in is what is readily available in a nursery, because some native plants are and some aren't. Lantana basically is. You can find lantana really easily. Now, a lot of times you have to find the native plants through native plant sales, that your native plants where you live put on. But when I have people volunteer working with me, and I have too much, I'll just yank stuff up, cut the top off, to take the pressure off the roots, and say, here you go, and we love to share seeds and plants that we have an excess of, because like you said, we're trying to teach homeowners what they can grow in their yard to attract nature, and are pretty much guaranteed not to die, really hardy plants. Right. Well, this is a wildlife refuge, and we have deer. So when I first started out, I really am a big fan of Louisiana phlox, and I found out that deer love to eat the Louisiana phlox. They nibble it down. They wouldn't kill it. It would come back the next year, but as soon as it came back, they would nibble it again, so it never really flowered. So I decided, well, that's not going to work, because the deer live here, so we cut that out. Let's see, what else? We had some frog fruit, and it's a ground cover, and it attracts a very special small blue butterfly. But it was so successful, I couldn't keep it contained. It wanted to go bigger than the space here. So I have a small amount of it in the garden. It's kind of hidden though. But I just use it for cuttings, and that I grow at my house, so I can put it other places where it can really just spread out. So that's, if deer don't like it, or if it becomes too rambunctious and doesn't want to play nice with the other plants. One problem, I do have the Passionvine here, but I tell you what, it wants, like vines, they want to grow where they want to grow. And trying to get them to go up a trellis instead of covering all your plants, can be difficult, but it's worth it, you know, because when you see the flowers on the Passionvine, they're just so beautiful and alien that, you know, everybody just loves it. It is different between having a display garden that you're showing for the public, that you want to look good, and then having something in your yard that you can stress, because it's good to stress plants. But actually, when it gets really hot and we notice, you know, the plants are gasping for water, we'll bring out an overhead sprinkler and we will water long and deep, and then maybe once a week. So we do water when it is necessary, because we want to keep the garden looking good for people to come out to enjoy the flowers and the insects. So we have people coming out all the time. Yeah. So, and I'm very excited about it, and extra excited when they bring their kids.
Yeah.
And, you know, and they're looking at all the different types of insects. So that, you know, it's a wonderful learning experience.